Ryan Garcia versus Conor Benn has been announced for the 12th September in the T-Mobile Arena for the WBC welterweight title. Now in this video I'm going to be explaining why Conor Benn is overrated and overhyped and he's out of his depth fighting against Ryan Garcia. Now of course it depends on what Ryan Garcia shows up into the ring. But after his last performance, he looked great, although it wasn't against one of the best championship fighters. He did still put in a performance and showed his ability. Now, when it comes to Conor Benn, he's gotten into this position because of the name behind his dad, and of course his personality as well. And unfortunately, if you want to look at it depending what way, the boxing business is a business at the end of the day. The fighters that are at the top, some are elite, some are decent, and some just know how to make money for the business of boxing. And at the end of the day, it's a business, and Conor Benn is one of these guys that is able to bring in a lot of money, and his skill level might not be at the top tier. He's there to get cash and he's there to bounce, and he's also getting opportunities to fight the likes of Ryan Garcia. Now, Conor Benn is overhyped and he's overrated, and in this video I'm going to be going over 6 points that are showing the data backed by this, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Now the first one is Conor is not fought or had wins over elite opposition. Now this is key, especially fighting at this level and against a top competitor like Ryan Garcia. You're going to have skill fighting against the top and elite, so you can have your ins and outs and understand and know when to fight, when to box, and there's going to be certain scenarios in the fight that you'll need experience to navigate through to come out on top. It's not just going to be easy to go in and fight against Ryan Garcia and expect to knock him out in the first round. It's a 12-round fight, high skilled level opponents there, and a lot of elite thinking inside that ring. Experience is needed, and Conor's lack of wins over elite opposition might not favour him in this fight, and that is why Ryan Garcia is most likely going to win this fight. Now, Conor's step-up fights have not been the greatest either. He fought a shot Chris Eubank Jr., and that was his last proper win. Obviously, he fought Regis Prograis as well, which again, he was a elite fighter a few good years ago, but he was coming to the tail end of his career. So his step-up fights have been very limited for stepping in against Ryan Garcia. I personally would have liked Conor to fight a few more times, or at least against another high-skilled opponent on the same level as him, just so he could find his feet, see where he's currently at, and again test himself so he can step into the ring and fight Ryan Garcia and give it a good shot. Now, Conor's knockout percentage can be misleading. Now, after the controversy a few good years ago, his knockout percentage has came down a lot, and his knockout percentage is not high when it's against higher level opposition. Now, Conor could not knock out Chris Eubank Sr. in that second fight, and Chris Eubank Sr. was there to get beaten. He was there to get knocked out. His body was not there. He had low energy. He was fatigued, and he was not a good fighter on the night. And Conor fought well, and he fought great to get that win, but he could have knocked Chris Eubank out at any moment's notice. Now, what that shows there is the knockout power isn't as great as you might think. Now, for him to beat Ryan Garcia, he's going to have to knock Ryan Garcia out. I don't really see Conor winning over the points or the full 12 rounds, and he needs to be careful of the tools that Ryan Garcia has in his arsenal. So, looking at Conor Benn's knockout percentage, it can be quite misleading. And this is again why he is overrated and overhyped. Now, the next point is his defence and questioning the defence that he has. Now, Conor is an all-in, steam-rolling fighter. He comes forward and he leaves himself wide open. Now, when you're fighting the elite and you're fighting at the highest level, there are certain skills that you just need, and you need to be able to defend yourself as well as being offensive and having an aggressive style. Fighting the likes of Ryan Garcia, who has that fast twitch muscle and those fast left hooks, and also a devastating right hand with the work that he's put in, you're going to have some sort of defensive movements. So Conor has lacked that in his previous fights and all his career, and just his overall style. So again, this is going to show why his hands coming down during and after combinations can potentially be caught square on in the face and potentially get knocked out himself. So that is another reason why he's overhyped, and it's all just business at the end of the day. Now the next one is facing Ryan Garcia, right? Ryan Garcia has faced high level competition. He has fought at the highest level, he's beat guys at the highest level, and of course he's had a few losses like the Rolly Romero and things like that. But we need to remember why Ryan Garcia has this title in the first place. He's a fantastic boxer. On his day, he's one of the best in the world, and there's a night and day comparison between the skill gap and skill level between him and Conor Benn. But it's going to come down to mentality and what Ryan Garcia shows up in the night. If Ryan Garcia shows up, it is going to be an easy night in the office. But when I say easy night, I don't mean it's a complete easy night. Boxing and fighting, there's never an easy fight. But I mean, if Ryan Garcia shows up and he's trained hard, he has that hunger, he has that belief, and he's not taking Conor Benn lightly, because you should not take any opponent lightly. And the reason I say that, if you look at Usyk in his last fight, fighting the top kickboxer, although he was a top kickboxer and the best in that combat sports, when it comes to boxing, it's obviously a completely different game. Usyk definitely underrated his opponent, and he nearly lost the belts, and he nearly lost the fight, and he nearly lost his reputation as well. So it doesn't matter who you are, what level you're fighting, you have to take your opponent serious. So if Ryan Garcia comes in and he's trained hard, which I hope he has, and he has his mindset in lock, then it's going to be a very tough night for Conor Benn. Now my last point, right, is being athletic and having athleticism, right, isn't enough at world level. You can be fit, you can be strong, you can be the best athlete, but you need to be able to fight and you need to be able to box. Now, boxing is a skill. You need to be able to think in the ring, you need to be tactical, you need to be able to adapt, you need to be able to stay calm under pressure, and you need to be able to box. It's not just about fighting and going out at your opponent 100 miles per hour. You're fighting there for 12 rounds, right? And there's a lot of energy that's going to be wasted. There's a lot of skill that is going to be needed, and you're going to have to really figure out how to beat your opponent, right? That's why they say that boxing is like chess, okay? Because when you're fighting opponents that are better than you, it's not just about swinging punches and seeing what one lands. You have to really read your opponent, reacting, feinting to see what they have in store and how you can come around that and come out on top. There's going to be times in fights where you're losing, and you have to have the ability and the mindset to come back from that, but also stay calm so you can read your opponent. So Conor Benn, yes, he is athletic. Yes, I guarantee he trains hard, but it's just not enough at the top end of the world level, and that is why he's overhyped, and Ryan Garcia is going to beat him, and we'll see if this slows down the train of Conor Benn, but there's definitely more options for him after the fight if he loses against Ryan Garcia. Now, fair play and fair respect to these two fighters. At the end of the day, they're going into the ring to throw hands, and that takes massive courage, and yeah, that's just my opinion there, and I believe, and I'm explaining why I think Conor Benn is overhyped and overrated. Now, the last point and the key point I'm adding in here is we cannot take away the lifestyle that Conor Benn has been handed to him. Yes, he works hard. Yes, he's tough as nails. But there's certain things that you cannot get when you have been given all these opportunities, right? When you come from nothing, you've had to truly work from that standpoint, and you've had to build yourself up. There's certain things that you have that people just cannot get if they've been brought up in a good environment, okay? That roughness, yeah, he's got it, but there's something that he's going to have that he's going to be missing, and I believe that he cannot get to that top level because of that. And if you don't agree with that, that's cool, but if you look at all the greatest champions, all the highest level achievers in boxing, they tend to be guys that have came from nothing. They've built their life up from that point, and they have had that grit and determination to last them a lifetime. And at the end of the day, the two guys are going in there to fight. It's all about tapping into that warrior spirit, and it's not always just about being tough. It's about going a level deeper and bringing out the complete savage within, and being able to do that for a prolonged period of time. Even when you're having bad days, even when you've lost, even when you fell flat on your face, that is when the true warrior within will come out. So let me know your thoughts below. Let me know your views on Conor Benn in his career, and also let me know who you think will win this fight. Do you think Conor has the capabilities to beat Ryan Garcia? It's a big title fight at the end of the day, and it's for the welterweight title. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll see you all in the next